Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Honey Button House. We've got a little bit of rain today, which makes it the perfect weather for pulling out some plants and trying to fix the dirt in our wicking beds. I tried this a couple of days ago in the middle of the heat and it did not go well. So make sure you do it on a cool day or in the evening when the sun's gone down so you don't fry your veggies like I did. And yeah, so what we're going to do today is add some fresh dirt and some mushroom compost to our wicking beds, and then this should correct a lot of the issues I'm having with our soil that we've got. The soil that I originally bought was from a local landscaping yard, and through the testing I can see that it definitely wasn't the best quality, and I'm pretty sure that's what's been stunting my veggies. I have done a couple of tests and it is definitely the soil. So we're going to fix that today and I'll show you the results. To give you a better idea of how slow the things in this garden are growing, these tomatoes were put in, I'll find out later, and these ones were put in not long ago. These ones were just a little class my son did at Bunnings, into some proper growing soil, and they're taller than the ones that have been in there for months. Okay, so I've been to Bunnings and I picked up a pH soil tester kit. Alkaline or acidic our soil is, and try and figure out what we need to do to fix it. And then my plants can grow, fingers crossed. Okay, so we need to take half a teaspoon size sample from one of our beds at about 10 to 15 centimeters down. So I'm going to go with this one here. As you can see, we've got quite a few yellow leaves, no dark greens like we should, and everything's quite stunted in growth. So we need to find a bit that's not covered in mulch. That looks pretty good. And about 10 to 15 centimeters down. I'm just going to dig a hole. And we need about half teaspoon. That'll do. Alrighty, that's our sample size. So I've read some things online and it says to remove any organic matter as well, so any debris or anything super organic, like bits of sticks and twigs and things. So I'll chuck some of them out. Alrighty, I don't probably need quite that much. Cool. There we go. So next step is we're going to add an indicator liquid. It says a few drops, so 3 drops of indicator liquid, to make it into a smooth paste. We might need a little bit more to make it a bit more pasty. And the next step after this is to add some of the barium sulfate. So it just says that we're going to lightly sprinkle white powder from the puffer bottle onto the top of the moist soil plate. Okay, give that a go. Cool. So far I'm seeing a purpley colour. If I had to compare so far, I'd say our soil is extremely alkaline. Or it could highly depend on how much of the indicator fluid you add. Alright, round 2. Alright, so I've taken a different sample. Just going to remove the organic bits out of this one as well. A little bit less dirt this time. So we'll add some of the indicator liquid and make it quite moist, because we need it to react with the powder. And stir it up. So the colouring of it at the moment is quite a neutral brown tone, leaning towards black. We'll add our barium sulfate powder. It's got a slight purpley tinge to it. So as you can see on this chart here, The more alkaline it is, the more purple it is, the more acidic, the more orange it is. So we're definitely on the alkaline side of things. If I had to guess, let's say we're about an 8.5. We're wanting to be around 6.5 to 7. So we're wanting it to be this colour here, and it's definitely not that colour. We're definitely on the alkaline side of things, which is unfortunate. Now we've got to figure out how we're going to treat it. Just because we can, we're going to test a lemon, because that should have a high acidity level. So this is a lovely lemon that my cousin gave me. Very handy. Juiciest lemons I've ever seen. So we're going to test some lemon juice. We'll add our 3 drops of indicator fluid. Already got a bright orange colour. My guess is this one's going to be very orange. Yeah, let's just say it's orange. So lemons are next to battery acid pretty much for acidity levels. We're probably looking at around a 4.5 to 4-ish, 3.5-ish. Okay, so I've read that to lower the pH of the soil, you can also add vinegar to water and then apply that. So they say 2 tablespoons of vinegar, 1 to 2 to 4 litres of water. So we'll try that, and hopefully we'll see some results soon. Okay, so we're also going to add some Epsom salts today, or magnesium sulfate. You can get this from Woolies and Coles. This one's from Bunnings, so I got given this one. So we're going to add 3 teaspoons to 5 litres of water. If we ever get it open. One should always carry scissors while gardening. So we also wanted to do a dirt test to see what we were going to replace our dirt in our wicking beds with. We chose 4 different dirts from Bunnings, and we put them in our strawberry towers and gauged them over a couple of weeks to see the growing results of the strawberries, and pick the one that we wanted to fill the beds up with. Okay, so we're going to number these like we've numbered my garden beds, so in a bit of a shifter pattern. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So, number 1's getting the garden soil, number 2 is getting the grow bag over there, the rich grow, and number 3 is getting the Osmocote, number 4 is getting the garden basics. So let's fill them up. On first impressions of the actual soil, so number 1 is the Bunnings brand. That had a very high organic material matter, and it was quite large, the pieces, so very difficult to actually fill up this pipe because it is quite thin on the inside once you have all the divots. So that was the first impression of that one. Doesn't make it a bad thing, I guess, having a high organic matter, but it was quite chunky. Second, we had the rich grow. So the rich grow had next to no large organic matter, very dark soil, quite moist. Essentially looks pretty good. Still some large pieces of organic matter, but yeah, not as much as the other one. It also has these little red balls in there as well. Then the third one being the Osmocote. So this is the most expensive one. This one had heaps of these orange balls in it. These ones here. Had nearly as much large organic matter as the Bunnings brand, but slightly smaller stuff and not as much. It's more of a reddy colour, this one. And it was the driest. Whether or not that means anything coming from the bag or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was the driest and probably a mid-range chipped one, if that makes sense. This is the Garden Basics one. To look at it straight away, you go, yep, looks pretty good. Reasonable organic matter, not too large, not too small, except for the fact that I then pulled out many rocks and also glass. So yeah, there's a few additives in this one. Essentially not the additives you're looking for in some garden soil. Rocks and glass tend to not help. So be mindful if you buy Garden Basics, you are getting extras. So we'll water this all down next and just compact it a bit more before we add our strawberries. And yeah, see how we go. So we harvested the most and the fattest strawberries from the Brannings brand and then the Rich Grow. Then followed by the Garden Basics. The Osmocote didn't love the strawberries for some reason. I'm not sure why. So I really wanted to add some mushroom compost to improve the growth of our plants. So I found a place on Facebook that was 25 litres for $10. I bought a couple of those bags. They didn't seem the greatest from what I'd seen before. I also found another place that was 50 litres for $10, so twice as much value. And then I did a bit more research and found a local place that did mushroom compost by the cube, which is 1,000 litres, and that was only for $60. So that worked out to be about 7 times better value than buying the 25 litre double bags off Facebook. So with a trailer and a bit of space, much better value to just do that and unload it all and mix it in with your dirt later. So I didn't dig up all the dirt that was in this one, as I didn't want to waste the dirt, just need to correct it. I added the Brannings garden soil and some mushroom compost, dug it in a little bit and added all the plants back in and waited for it to grow. So our pumpkins are sitting in the ground in this wicking bed for about 9 weeks at this point, and they go from this to this in a period of 4 weeks. So we definitely got better results when we swapped the soil over and added some mushroom compost. Now they're flowering and we can't wait to see our little pumpkins coming through. Alrighty, that's it for this episode of Honey Button House. Make sure you join us next time when we actually go over on how to make some wicking beds. We're going to go to my mum's place and help her set up a few. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.